Did you know that you can keep this year's pepper plants alive for next season? Well, today, I'm going to show you how. Last year, if you've seen any of my previous videos, I have a Carolina Reaper plant that's in its second year, and I overwintered that one last year, and it actually survived, so I was pretty impressed with that. I honestly didn't think it was going to survive, but it was my first attempt at overwintering chili plants, and it worked out, so I can show you guys how to do it. So this right here is a ghost pepper plant. It's in its first year of growth, but I can get that plant so that next year it'll come back to life and it'll produce peppers again. I'm going to show you how right now. So really all you're going to need for this project is just a pair of pruning shears. These ones I have right here aren't the best, they're kind of cheap, but I think they'll do fine for my purposes. Whenever you're working among plants, it's always a good thing to ensure that your tools and your hands are clean. This way you'll minimize spreading bacteria and pathogens to your plants, which that wouldn't be a good thing. So the first step to overwintering your pepper plant is to actually start pruning it down. So there's really no easy way of explaining it. You just kind of gotta just get into it. So just take a little bit off at a time at first, and then as you start getting a little more comfortable, you can start picking up the pace with your pruning. So what I did last year with my Carolina Reaper plant is I didn't trim down the plant too much. I just I would say I cut it kind of in half. So just take off, the major branches. Just kind of clean things up a little. And whenever you're trimming back branches, I would suggest that you leave a bit of space above a node. So a node is basically where the leaf intersects the stem. If you give a bit of space, say an inch or two, what this is actually going to do is it's going to prevent rot from spreading into the node. So you don't want rot. You don't want your nodes to start rotting, because that's where the leaves are produced. So just trim your plant back a little. Don't go crazy, and as you go, just prune off any pods you see on there, because over the winter it's not going to be good for the plant to have pods on it, because it's going to be stressed for water and it's going to go dormant, so it can't really support peppers in the winter. And personally, for me, there's not really much of a science to this. I just just whatever I think needs to be done. So I would say I almost have it pruned back to where I want it. Just gonna kind of cut off a few more branches here. And there's a lot of mess here. You can throw this on your compost pile, or you can just throw it to your yard waste bag. Either way works. Okay, almost done here. And another thing is you want to cut off any spindly branches. So if there's some really thin branches, you probably don't want those on your plant. Just because, I don't know, I guess it's kind of like pruning a fruit tree. When you prune a fruit tree, you want to have all the main thick branches, and then you want to just kind of prune off all the weak branches. Just prune off all the weaklings, and that'll basically strengthen and lower your plant's center of gravity. This is one of the reasons why I don't top my pepper plants, because I do this, right? So it's really not necessary. I actually find that topping your plants, for me personally, has reduced my yield. Some people might think that it improves the yield, and maybe it does for them, but for me it doesn't, so I don't really bother with that. So looks like I'm almost done here. a few more branches. It's kind of like a bonsai too. Like, have you ever done bonsaiing? So it's basically kind of like that. Just shaping the plant to a nice kind of compact form. Because remember guys, this plant's going to be indoors all winter long. So you're going to want to make sure that it's, you know, it's kind of like a house plant. You don't want it to be massive when it's indoors. And also the smaller it is, the less stress on the roots. Well, to an extent. I like to leave a bit of leaf mass on here just for photosynthesis. It helps the plant to produce sugars for the roots. Ultimately, with overwintering your pepper plants, you want to just focus on the roots. So you want to think, what can I do for these roots to survive? And basically, what I do is I'm gonna add a bit of bone meal, and this will help because bone meal is a great source of phosphorus, and phosphorus is really good for plant roots. It helps them. It's the nutrient that plants' roots need to develop. So if you have a lot of phosphorus in your soil, when your plant's dormant, it's really going to help the roots. And in the spring, the plant's just going to shoot off. It's going to do great. So, see here, that's just about it. And it doesn't have to be perfect either. Like, you don't need to worry about it being perfect because your plant's going to survive as long as you give it some leaves. And yeah, so that's basically all I would do for now. And what I would do is probably in the spring, what I did with my Reaper is once I started to see new growth, I just kind of brought it outside gradually and started to bring it outdoors to, you know, get it acclimated to the sunlight. And I'll go through with you guys what to do come spring, but for now in the fall, this is basically all you need to do. So like I said, I would add a bit of bone meal, but actually I did add a bit of bone meal before this video, so I really don't need to right now. So yeah, and if you need to, if the soil's not moist, you should definitely water it. But yeah, so that's basically what I did with my Carolina Reaper plant, and it worked great. And so yeah, it's really simple. It's a simple process, but I personally have found that the next year you're gonna get like at least twice the production. Because the first year on my Reaper, I got basically nothing. I got like, I would say maybe 5 or 6 pods, to be honest. And this year I think I got like 50 at least. So if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you'd like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help out my channel. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That's my goal. And I want to educate and reach out to as many gardeners across the world as possible. And yeah, so that's my goal. So if you enjoyed this video, great. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.